Just a random question here. As far as that goes, do you think that's something that people just naturally have, or is that something you can actually learn over time by maybe studying others?
Well, I think you can learn over time for sure, and that's what comes with playing. I mean, as you see people grow, I mean, I'm sure you followed artists. You saw them in the beginning of their career, and now you see them now, and they're so much more polished and so much more, so much more together. Sometimes in the beginning they have that raw, which just kind of attracts you, but then they start developing and being able to sing longer and better and higher and stronger just because, like an athlete, they build up their chops, they build up their momentum, they build up their stamina, and all that stuff's very important to put on a great show. I mean, no matter what, you're active, you're doing something, and that takes a certain discipline, and it takes a certain um, uh, like a rehearsal, sort of like doing it over and over again. And I think it's no different for a band than it is for anyone else, or even an athlete. The more you do it, the better you get. And I think you can learn it, yes, if you're willing to and if you want to. Sure.
So last question, playing off of something else you said, David O's really big right now, pushing the idea of a creative economy in Philadelphia. And you said when you first started writing the songs, and so you weren't making any money, but now you ended up doing pretty good for yourself. What were some of the things that you ended up doing differently that kind of helped you to turn this into a money-making thing for yourself?
Well, that's kind of a broad question. I guess, yeah, I still do it for the love of music. There's no doubt about it, because no matter what, no one's paying me enough money, in my opinion, so for what I do. But at the same time, I think the way I kept going, and I've been able to, weather the waves of the music business, is to keep open-minded, because I feel that like for instance, one of the first hip hop acts I ever did was The Roots, right? So I was a rock guy. I was a live jazz guy. That's what I was doing before that. The reason I got involved with The Roots is because I could do live music, and they were a live band. But they were hip hop, and a lot of people in hip hop didn't know what to do with a live band because they were all used to turntables. So I could have easily said, no, I don't do hip hop, I do rock, and still would have been making money and doing fine. But I engaged it, I embraced it, and that led to a whole plethora of all kinds of opportunities. So I think just being open-minded and willing to embrace anything that comes my way in a professional way, I think helped, kind of have one thing lead to the other. And that's really what the music business is about. It's like a networking. And that's why the PHL Live's great too, because again, with that community thing I'm saying, like there's a rock guy who's talking to a classical person. Now that classical person could do a string part on a rock session, but if those people don't ever connect, how will that ever happen? And then that's the synergy. So the open-mindedness is how you advance in music, because let's face it, you stay closed-minded in anything, you're going to limit yourself.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
That was good.